Ever wondered what lurks beyond the regular internet we browse daily? Today, let's delve into the intriguing world of the dark web, a part of the internet that remains shrouded in mystery for most. Picture the internet as an iceberg. The part visible above the water, that's the internet as we know it. But lurking beneath, hidden and vast, is the dark web. The dark web is a part of the internet that's not indexed by search engines like Google or Bing. It's a place where search engines' light doesn't reach, hence the name Dark Web. It's like an uncharted territory in the vast expanse of the internet, hidden from plain sight, accessible only with special software. The inception of the dark web dates back to the late 90s. It was initially created by the US military as a way to communicate anonymously, out of sight from the prying eyes of adversaries. Over the years, it has grown exponentially, evolving into a platform that is used by a wide range of individuals and organizations, from journalists and activists seeking to bypass censorship to cybercriminals operating in the shadows. The dark web's hidden nature lends it an air of mystery and intrigue. It's like a hidden room in a house, a room that can only be accessed through a secret door. This secret door, in the case of the dark web, is special software like Tor. Tor, short for the Onion Router, is a software that allows users to browse the dark web anonymously, keeping their identities and activities hidden. The dark web is a realm of the internet that's both fascinating and intimidating. It's a place where anonymity reigns supreme, a place where the unseen is seen, the unheard is heard, and the unspoken is spoken. It's a place that's shrouded in shadows, away from the prying eyes of the world. So if the dark web is not accessible through regular means, how does one access it? Stay tuned as we unravel this mystery in our next segment. Accessing the dark web is not as simple as typing a URL into your browser. It's like diving into the vast ocean's depths, where the regular rules of the internet simply do not apply. You see, the dark web operates in the shadows, off the beaten paths of the mainstream internet, and it requires special tools to reach. The first of these tools is Tor, short for the Onion Router. Why an onion, you ask? Well, just as an onion has layers, Tor protects your data by wrapping it in multiple layers of encryption. Each layer is peeled away as your data passes through a series of volunteer-operated servers around the world, rendering your data untraceable and landing you into the shadowy world of the dark web. But before you rush off to download Tor, let's talk about a crucial ally in your dark web exploration, the Virtual Private Network, or VPN. Picture a VPN as your personal invisibility cloak, shielding your identity and location from prying eyes. When used alongside Tor, a VPN adds an extra layer of security, making it even harder for anyone to trace your steps back to you. Now, Tor and VPNs are not your typical internet tools. They're powerful, but they can be complex. It's important to understand what you're getting into. Think of it like learning to drive a car. It's not enough to just know how to start the engine and step on the gas. You need to understand the rules of the road, the signals, and how to navigate safely. Accessing the dark web is a journey into the unknown, a step off the well-trodden paths of the internet we know and use daily. It's a place where layers of anonymity provide a safe haven for free speech, but also for illicit activities. But remember, the dark web is a tool, and like any tool, it's not inherently good or bad, it's how you use it that matters. So, if you decide to dive in, be sure to use these tools wisely and safely. Now that we know how to access it, what exactly can we find on the dark web? The dark web is like an iceberg. The majority of it is hidden from sight, and what is hidden can often be surprising. Now, let's dive deeper into the various types of content you can stumble upon in this hidden world. First off, it's not all scary stuff. You'll find harmless forums and social networks, much like the surface web, where people connect over shared interests and ideas. These platforms serve as a refuge for individuals seeking to exercise their freedom of speech without the fear of censorship or surveillance. However, the dark web also has its darker corners. There are marketplaces, not unlike our regular e-commerce platforms, but with a twist. These are places where you can buy anything from rare comic books to unknown works of a famous author. But they also cater to more sinister tastes, offering illegal substances, counterfeit currency, and even stolen data. Next, we have hacking forums. These are places where the tech-savvy and the criminally inclined meet. Here you can find discussions on the latest exploits, hacking tools, and even services for hire. It's an underground tech community that operates under the cover of anonymity, often leading to activities that breach ethical and legal boundaries. And then, there are more unsettling corners, where darker human impulses find an outlet. These are the places that often make headlines, and for all the wrong reasons. They host content that is not just illegal, but morally reprehensible. It's important to remember, though, that these represent a small fraction of the dark web, but their impact can be significantly damaging. So we see a spectrum of activities on the dark web, from the innocuous and liberating to the illicit and horrifying. It's a complex space where the freedom to be anonymous is both its strength and its weakness. It's a place where the best and the worst of human nature can manifest without the usual constraints or oversight. But with all this anonymity and hidden content, how dangerous is the dark web really? Well, that's a question we'll delve into in the next scene. Stay tuned. The dark web, while intriguing, is not a place to venture into lightly. This is a realm where the unseen collides with the unknown, and dangers lurk in every corner. It's like stepping into a shadowy alleyway in an unfamiliar city, where you can never be too sure of what lies ahead. One of the most profound threats in the dark web is the rampant spread of malware. This malicious software is like a digital parasite, invading your systems, corrupting files, and even stealing sensitive data. It's akin to a silent burglar, quietly entering your digital home, pilfering your secrets, and leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. Yet, beyond the technological threats, the dark web also serves as a breeding ground for illegal activities. It's a haven for illicit transactions, ranging from the sale of stolen credit card information to the trade of unlawful substances. The anonymity that the dark web provides fuels these unlawful acts, making it a digital Wild West where lawlessness often reigns supreme. Perhaps the most disturbing aspect of the dark web, however, is the risk of stumbling upon content that's not just illegal, but deeply unsettling. It's like opening a Pandora's box, where once seen certain images or information can never be unseen. This is a place where humanity's darkest desires and most horrific deeds are laid bare, hidden from the prying eyes of the surface web. In light of these dangers, it's crucial to emphasize the importance of internet safety and ethical browsing. The internet, like any tool, can be used for good or ill, depending on the hands that wield it. We need to navigate this digital ocean with caution, aware of the potential hazards lurking beneath its seemingly calm surface. So one may wonder, so is there any good that comes from the dark web? The answer is complex, and to fully understand it, we need to delve deeper into the shades of grey that color this hidden part of the internet. Despite its reputation, the dark web isn't completely shrouded in darkness. Yes, you heard it right. There is a silver lining to this seemingly ominous realm of the internet. As much as it is a hub for illicit activities, it also serves as a beacon of hope for some. Let's dive into the brighter side of the dark web, shall we? One of the most significant aspects is the protection of user privacy. In an age where our every online move is tracked, analyzed, and often sold, the dark web offers a haven for those seeking anonymity. It shields users from the prying eyes of corporations, hackers, and even governments, ensuring that personal data remains just that, personal. Now, imagine living under an oppressive regime where freedom of speech is a distant dream. For individuals in such dire situations, the dark web provides an invaluable platform to communicate freely. It allows them to voice their concerns, share their experiences, and connect with the outside world, all without fear of retaliation. It's a beacon of free speech in a world where censorship is often the rule rather than the exception. But that's not all. Believe it or not, the dark web also hosts a number of legitimate sites. These range from secure email services to privacy-focused social networks to repositories of classified documents meant for public viewing. It's like an underground library, filled with resources that aren't typically accessible on the surface web. So, while it's easy to get caught up in the negative hype surrounding the dark web, it's important to remember that it's not all bad. It's a complex, multifaceted entity that mirrors the real world in many ways. Just as our world has its dark alleys and bright boulevards, so does the dark web. The dark web, like any tool, has its uses and abuses. It's up to us how we choose to navigate it. Remember, the web, dark or otherwise, is merely a tool. It's our intentions and actions that ultimately define its impact.